Hey Navreet, welcome to When Spirit Talks.
Hello, Stephanie. Thank you so much for having me.
I'm excited. I'm excited to learn about your book and your whole story. So I'm super, super excited to chat.
I can't wait. Yeah, like I mentioned before, I was running around and I'm here now. I'm here. I'm ready to chat with you and I'm ready to just, bring some real value.
I love it. I mean, the topic is super, super important. I love it. So I'm excited. Can you share a little bit about your journey and how you became a poet and an ancestral healing advocate?
Yes, thank you. So, both of those titles, I take them very lightly because I'm kind of the person that just goes with the flow. And right now, I'm in that phase of my life where, and your podcast is called When Spirit Talk. So, Spirit Talk to me, and Spirit's like, you need a book, like, write a book, write a book. We don't care how it's going to happen, write that book. And so I kept getting dreams and signs. And I'm like, okay, universe, I'm listening. If you really want me to make this happen, like show me signs, show me in my reality that I'm meant to write a book. So, anyways, I put that out. And a few days after me saying this, I got connected with these book publishers, like just out of the blue. She hit me up. We were in this networking WhatsApp group together. And instantly I'm like, yes. Like I didn't even have to think about it because I put that out there and then it came to me. And there was no chance for me to even say no.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. And I chatted with them. We had a few sessions and they asked me, what type of book do you want to write? And, I'm thinking, okay, spirit is the reason I'm doing this. I'm sure I will get these answers as well. And that's when, I thought about going back to my journals, like years and years of journals, and see what type of writing is already in my journals. And so I didn't even realize, like, I remember looking back at some of those pieces and being like, this is good. People would learn from this. So, yeah, I'm like, what's closest to my writing? Just poetry. Poetry is what called to me. And that's now we're here.
That's amazing. I love how, first of all, you saved all your journals. And I love how Spirit sent you that sign, but then also it sent you the other sign, like go back in those journals, like go back because there are messages there that people need to hear. So that's really cool.
Yes. I recommend, like, if someone is looking to write and they also feel like, I want to put something out there, just already see, like, you yourself are art. Just look at yourself, your own life, and whatever it is that you enjoy writing about or talking about, chances are those are the things you're good at.
Mhm.
Just start there.
That's a good tip. Did you find growing up it was easier to write things out than to like verbalize it out loud?
100%.
Yeah.
100%. And that's why this book is just so special because it's like really me talking and the things I wish I could say out loud, but I don't know how to. Either it's a communication barrier or I don't know how that other person would react. So I wouldn't want to lose that relationship. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just start with what feels the closest to me and especially who feels the closest to me. So this book, each section we start with talking to the mother, poems that I feel like would provide that healing to me, to the readers, and then the father, ancestors, inner child, heart, this beautiful heart. So
I love that. So tell us the name of your book and tell us one of your favorite poems or messages. Like, what is your absolute favorite one in that book?
Ooh, thank you. Thank you for asking. The book is called If My Heart Could Talk, and it truly is If My Heart Could Talk. Like, this is again where it's that connection to the spirit. And I feel most connected through my heart, when I'm in that loving, just emotions that come from the heart, that feel light, that feel easy to carry. So love, poems of healing, honesty, and coming home. And that truly is what this is about.
That's amazing. We could all use some of that.
Oh, yeah.
I like how you organized it too for like mom, ancestral healing, inner child healing. I love all of that stuff. And since you work a lot with ancestral healing, can you tell us a little bit about it? What is it? And what are your experiences with it?
Yeah, so ancestral healing is connecting to, your lineage, but doing it in a way that's more on that energetic level. So, of course, our ancestors, we're not able to see them in the physical, but guess what? We're able to see them in an energetic, in the spiritual. So, those realms are not always easy to access, which is why it requires you really taking the time to go within, having that discipline to connect with those parts of you. And ancestral healing specifically is connecting to the lineage, connecting to the people who came before you. Um, and, when you provide healing from an energetic level, as above, so below, if that's happening there, that will also, in many ways, be happening in the physical. So it's just so beautiful, the type of healing that can come from doing this work. And I'm just really, really excited.
Yeah, I always feel like to connect to your ancestors, and I always want to throw this out there because there are some people who might not know their parents. They might be adopted or they might not know. And so you can still connect with your ancestors on either side of your lineage, whether you know them or not. And then if you're adopted, you can even connect with your new adopted family's ancestors as well. So it's like, don't
Yeah,
ever feel, I always think, like, don't ever feel like because you don't know your ancestors or your history or family members that it's not possible for you.
I agree 100%. It's all energy. That's what we're here. That's what we're doing. So this work can be done on an energetic level, and I think that's what I really like to advocate and talk about. So ancestral healing is just one part of all this work.
Yeah, and they're always there, they're always behind you. It's amazing. I feel like whenever I've worked on it myself or like helped someone else through it, it's interesting how much healing and how much like love comes through. Like I love how you said like love was like the main theme of your book. And it like relates to it so much because I feel like when people start working with ancestral healing, that's all you feel. Like you feel love, even if you had some difficulties with family members, like regardless, like once they're in spirit, it's just pure love. So I always love to throw that in, but I like how your book is also like surrounding that theme.
Thank you.
So, what is one thing our listeners can do at home to connect to their ancestral lineage?
Ooh, so the most accessible is probably just meditation. And I used to be that person where I'm like, I don't want to meditate. I don't know how to meditate. It's too difficult. Instead of calling it the word meditate, it's just, I like to change how I view it and call it just being more aware, being a little bit more present. And that in itself is a form of meditation because it allows you to slow down. And finally, your body, your nervous system is like, I can breathe. I
Yeah.
can, I can start doing those things that I am not able to do when I'm rushing and stressing. So being more present and intention setting as well. So yes, you're present, but with this amazing present energy, what are you going to do with it? like that is when you're tapping into that other realm, and now you have access to all this beautiful energy.
Hmm.
But if you're still, your intentions are, okay, I'm just going to sit down and meditate because someone told me to do it, and it's good for me somehow. But when you bring in those intentions, like, okay, I'm going to use this time to connect with my ancestors. I'm going to use this time to connect with my lineage and try to feel that out, starting there and every single day. Like that's where the discipline comes in, where
Yeah.
it's not just a one-time thing. It builds up. You might do this practice and then go on about your day, and then the next day something came out because of this practice you did yesterday. So it's all energy. You don't even know when it's working, but it's always working. So trust in that it's always working. And yeah.
It was great how you mentioned discipline because I feel like that's something that a lot of people have so much trouble with. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna try this meditation thing, or I'm gonna try this like energy healing thing, or I'm gonna try whatever it is. And they might do it for a few days, but then it falls off. And like you don't really grasp the greatness that comes out of it when you actually stick with it, like for longer periods of time. And it gets easier because in the beginning, it's so hard. Like I was similar to you where I was like, meditate. Like I can't just sit there in a quiet space doing nothing. But music always helped me. So if I have music on, it just helps me like tune in and go within, just like you said, like going within and just having that intention. Like intention is everything with energy. So it's great how you mentioned like you can literally just sit down, connect with yourself, call on your ancestors, bring them in, they're there, and then you will notice moving forward little signs and little synchronicities and little messages that you wouldn't have had before. But like sticking with it is so important.
I love you mentioned music, and
Yeah.
music is movement, it's frequency and movement. So anything that puts you in emotion, whether it's just walking or drawing or a shower, this is why you get your best downloads in shower, because there's movement, there's another element involved. Nature is an element. So when you involve elements, when you involve motion, movement, you know, and then on top of that, adding this presence idea and intention setting, whew, there it is.
So I also have to say, I totally forgot about this until now. So you met, there are two things I want to bring up because they literally just happened. So you mentioned the quote as above, so below. And one of my clients had just messaged me about that quote. So I love that. But also, on top of that, literally today, I was in my car, I was going to an appointment, and I was thinking about like, I'm on vacation right now for 2 weeks. And I was thinking about, I get so much more done when I have like my regular job to go to. And I was thinking about it. And as I'm driving in the car, I'm like, I'm always getting my downloads in the car. Like I always have my music on the car, but I'm getting my downloads. And I literally told myself, it's the movement. It's the movement energy. It's the energy of like me physically like moving, getting in the car, doing this, like getting things done versus if I'm like home doing nothing, I get so like blah, like it's hard. So that's just another sign thrown in there about the whole energy of movement.
Yes, even thank you for sharing that, first
Yeah.
of all. And it's crazy, like the synchronicities, even I
Yeah.
things as you're sharing stuff, I'm like, that just happened to me. Um, yeah, movement is such a beautiful thing. Like even a little 5-minute walk before you sit down to do some sort of creative work, or not even creative work, whatever sort of work, quote unquote. It allows the energies to clear away, and then you can now bring good stuff moving into this creative project. So, movement.
Beautiful. Now, what does it mean to live an embodied, spiritually rooted life in this modern world?
Ooh, this is good. Like this. Instantly I thought of AI. I don't know
Mm,
why. I guess as I speak, we'll find out why. But I think with this age of AI, we, in a weird way, are connecting more to our humanness. like in a weird way, I feel like AI is showing us how to be more human ourselves. And because we are, kind of restricting, not restricting, but I know many people who are totally against the idea of AI. So they're pushing it out. But then what's happening is we're like, I don't want to be AI. I like being a human. I like doing human things. And then we start getting into that love energy that you had shared earlier. And that's like the energy of a human, love. And AI does not have that, not that I know of, which is so crazy to say. But yeah, I think embodying in this, you know, whether you are spiritual or not, but just feeling into this love energy a little bit more, trying to access that love energy. And sometimes it can be difficult if there's blockages and there's stuff that's stuck in this vessel. So clearing that out and then feeling into that love, it's a little interesting to say, but yeah, I don't know why AI came up, but I think it's just doing those things that make us feel a little bit more human versus like a robot doing the same
Mhm.
thing every single day, tapping more into, intentional work. Yeah, there's a lot there.
No, but I actually, I never thought of it. At first, I didn't use AI at all. I was like, I'm one of those people that takes me like forever to, get on board with something new. Now I'm using it to like my advantage and I'm using it for certain things, but you're right. It's not human and it can't connect with the frequencies of love and like all of that stuff. So I like the point that you made up about how AI coming forward is also bringing us back in touch with our own humanness and our own love. So that was kind of cool. Now, how can we build heart-centered communities in the new earth?
Ooh, I love the topic of communities and
Mhm.
community building. I think, and I actually saw a TikTok on this. I don't know who posted it, but she was talking about how we as humans have become a little selfish. I even see in the spiritual world, it's not meant to be viewed from that selfish perspective. And when we just start thinking about, me, like this is, yes, that's important. And I'm a huge advocate for doing that inner work. But sometimes it can become to a point where you start isolating yourself. So, it's not about who might be in your reality at this moment, certain friends or family. But when you do begin doing this intentional work, as a human, what you're really doing is you're looking for that connection. You're looking for those other humans who you can actually connect with, the humans that understand and they like talking about the same things as you and they like not liking the same things as you. So that's community building in this new world. It's more about, being intentional about first knowing like who we are, like this is me. I'm showing up as me. I've done the work and I'm really ready to now connect with others who are on the same frequency and wavelength as me. So yeah, I think I answered that question. But to me, communities, I think they are the future. I've said this so many times before. They are the future. They really are. And I think connection is what's going to bring more people into that love energy specifically. So, yeah.
I agree. I agree. I think connection is sometimes underrated. And I'm one of those people. I love my own time. Like, I love solo Stephanie time. I like being by myself. But there's so much to be said for connecting with people who actually make you feel good, like you said. And kind of, I feel like as I've gotten older, I've learned to prioritize healthier relationships or relationships with people who match me versus just connecting with people who I'd known or, who's around that I don't really vibe with too much or that they don't make me feel so good. I feel like as I've gotten older, I've understood like that heart-led connection, like really connecting with the people who make me happy, that reciprocal energy, and the ones who, yeah, who you help feel good, but they also help you feel good.
Yes. Beautiful.
Perfect. Perfect. Now, we're going to get into the spirit segment. So, I want to know what is one thing that you do every day or almost every day that helps you stay spiritually grounded or balanced that might help other people do the same.
There is one thing I intentionally do, and I call it breaking pattern.
Mm.
So I learned this from a mentor of mine, actually. So breaking pattern is every single day doing something different that you would not do on a regular basis. So if you, let's say at work, you get the same type of tea or the same coffee, just something as little as trying something new, a new flavor, a new liquid, a new drink. It starts opening up pathways in your brain where the brain is like, this is new, like, this is different. I've never done this before, but let's try it. And it's that trying energy that you begin to carrying everywhere else. So
Mm.
in your creativity, it's like, oh, I've never done this before, but let's try it. Let's try this. Let's try that. And so you get into this habit building. I actually forget the original question.
No, you're good. That was it. It was the one thing you do every day that
Oh,
helps you
yes,
stay
breaking
grounded.
pattern.
Yeah,
There we are.
yeah. So that is cool. And I think it also ties into the people who are hesitant to try new things because of fear. Because I feel like if you're doing something as simple as just changing the flavor of your tea, like how can you go wrong? The worst thing that'll happen is the tea sucks and you hate it and whatever. You go back to your favorite tea. But I think it's also a great way to help people, yeah, learn to be more adventurous, more creative, to step into things that they wouldn't normally do because that will automatically impact the things that they're fearful of and scared to do. Those little baby steps. So I think that's really cool. That's awesome. Now, you mentioned a story about spirit guiding you to publish this book and create this book. And so this might be your story, and if so, I'd want to hear more about how that came through. But if not, what is your favorite story regarding your connection to spirit?
Ooh, my favorite story connected to spirit. I don't think I've ever thought about this.
On the spot.
Good. Um, I will say, I actually have them here, my oracle
Mm-hmm.
cards. And I know you're an oracle guide as well.
Uh-huh.
Yes. And I love your work, by the way.
Oh,
Every
same to you.
every time I see your post, I'm like, yes. Um, but I think this, like I was
Yeah.
really guided by something out of me. Like even going into the store, oracles are not something I've ever seen in front of
Mm-hmm.
me. I didn't even know they were a thing. And so, these are divination tools. And I think through divination and these tools, I've been learning more and more on how to connect with
Mm-hmm.
the spirit realm, spiritual realm. Um, yeah, that's my favorite story. I mean, I'm sure I have so many others. I'm always sharing a few on my stories sometimes. I need to do it more. Like this is the type of stuff that I want to dig and like present as my content because I think it's really cool. Yeah, for now, just this, my
Yeah,
oracle.
well, it comes. I feel like spirit comes through using those tools sometimes. Like everyone has their own tools that they use, but I feel like we all gravitate towards like one or two favorite things. And in those moments when we're using those, we are getting that guidance from spirit. So, yeah, I feel like it's probably growing your connection, it's enhancing your connection, it's like giving you more of those downloads. So, and I love them too. I
Yeah.
actually pulled, we'll get this right at the end, but I pulled a card for you. Actually, two came out, so you're getting you're getting two cards. I'll explain that later. But awesome story. Now, what is one final piece of advice you have for listeners trying to improve their spiritual well-being?
Amazing. I will actually shamelessly talk
Yes.
about ancestral healing, doing family generational work. Because I think it's, in the spiritual world, if we bring back it all being energy, when you came into this world, it's that mother energy, it's that father energy. And those are the two things, holding you that make you, if we think about it energy wise. So if those energies are blocked, if there's certain wounds or, the connection is not really there, and connection and love kind of go hand in hand. So then, if the connection is broken, the love is blocked. And that's where doing, starting with the work with the people closest to you can be such a scary thing and hard thing. And we want to avoid it, we don't want to do it. And I know that firsthand, but if you just push through a little bit, be okay with the pain of doing that, um, there's just so much result, like not result, but reward,
hmm
tapping into that love energy. So we were talking about that earlier, like what it means to be in that love frequency. It is, I have found personally, is when you do this work with the people closest to you. And that's why the book is the way it is. Like each section is mother, father, and then we go into the ancestors, inner child, and the heart. I call that the journey of directions in five different directions of the soul.
I love
I
it.
truly, yeah, I truly believe, those things. And it's not just, when I say mother as well, it's not just the physical, it's also the feminine in your world, and what your that feminine motherly essence might want to hear or give to you. So that's what the poems are for.
That's beautiful. That is so beautiful. Amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And I love the cover too. And I love how we're both in, like you mentioned, red
I
and pink.
know.
Love talk, all that stuff. So, where can our listeners go to learn more about you?
Yes. So I'm most active on my Instagram page. And my Instagram handle is navreet.pabla, Navreet Pabla. And that's where I kind of share all this BTS. And I have pre-orders for the book as well. And I'm officially launching on my birthday, September 19th.
Ah, nice.
It's insane. It's wild. Here we are. And this is,
It's
again, all of this is me listening to that higher guidance.
that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. Well, go check out her book, go check her out. And before we go, I have your cards. Are you
Yes.
ready?
Yes.
Okay. So, it was funny because I pulled it this morning and I was like, when I pulled it, there were two cards that were stuck together. The first card that came up, I was like, oh, this card. Wow. But as we're talking, it makes so much sense. Okay, so I'm going to show you the first card first so you can get a feel for what I was thinking in that moment. You got this, the Three of Swords. And this card always reminds me of, right? Like when, let's say we were to pull this card on a random day, I'd be like, oh, there might be some like painful truths coming up. There might be some like heartbreak, heartache energy to work through. But the card that was stuck to it was the Six of Wands, which is this beautiful victory, like light at the end of the tunnel energy. And so, what came up, and it makes so much sense now, is that you used like your personal stories, like your journey of the heart and everything that it taught you, whether it was painful or loving or whatever it was, but you used that and you created this beautiful book that is going to be the light of so many people's tunnels, like the light at the end of the tunnel. And so, yeah, it makes sense now.
You know what else I kind of
Yeah.
noticed? I know it's kind of red on the first photo,
hmm
but it looks like this.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. So I love that. And then the message for everyone else is if you are dealing right now with something that's really um, hurtful, something that you're having trouble getting over, something that hurt your heart, what Spirit is saying is to take a pause and hold on because things are going to turn around for you. So just give yourself some extra love, hang in there, and it will all be okay. So, Navreet, thank you so much for coming on and sharing about your book and ancestral healing. And I love that what was it? Breaking patterns?
Breaking
Breaking.
patterns.
Yes, I like that too. So thank you so much for coming on. It was a pleasure.
Thank you so much, Stephanie.